everybody. Hope y'all are having a great Saturday night. And I just thank you for joining me. I have had such a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you have too. And as you can see, I am rocking my Christmas sweater, my ugly Christmas sweater. And I'll tell you about that here in a couple of minutes. It has just been a wonderful, wonderful day. And I apologize to everybody that was looking for the thumbnail. I honestly had forgotten to upload it. And then Sir Grace said, Glenda, I need a couple of things from Home Depot. And so we made a quick run and I thought, I'll get that uploaded before I leave. And do you know that on my way home, I got a notification that I was going live because I have it in my calendar. And I went, I forgot to put the thumbnail up. And, life happens. It is what it is, right? We all have those moments. So that's okay. So let me see who's in the chat. First off was Scotty. Hey, Scotty. He says, Heidi ho, tribe. And then next in was Randy Smith, R.E. Smith. He says, hello. Hey, Randy, are you on the road or are you just chilling out? What's going on with you? And then, the wonderful Mod Fathers here. Hey, Jesse and Lisa. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Rebecca's here. She said, good blessed day to everyone. Rebecca, it is starting to get cold where I'm at, and I'm getting ready to pull my winter hats and gloves out. And your hat is the warmest hat, and I can't wait to start wearing it again. I'm super excited. And then next, let's see here, Scotty says, hi, Randy. And then Aunt Lynn is here. I was with Aunt Lynn just a little bit ago. And part of why I'm still rocking my lovely, ugly sweater. It's a vest, really, but, it works. And but we had just a wonderful time. And I'll tell you about that here in just a minute. Let's see. Here, everybody's saying hi to each other. And then, here we go. Look at this. Here we go. Hi, Glenda. Long time no see. I think it's been maybe an hour and a half, maybe? Maybe 2 hours now at this point. I'm not sure. I've already been to Home Depot, Aunt Lynn. I stayed with Mom for a little bit, helped her work on her key fob. She is going to be dropping a video on how to change a battery out of a specific key fob. I'm not sure if it's up yet or not, but we did the filming for it. She more or less did it for herself too, so she knows how to change her key fob in her car key. So no big deal, just a battery, easy go, right? Oh, Michael made it. Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Let's see here. Let me come down through here. Let's see here. Hello, Glenda. Oh my goodness. The beautiful Nisi is here. Hey girl, I hope you are doing well. You have been on my heart. And I just want to let you know, I've been thinking of you. I hope you're doing well. And let me see here. How many mimosas did you have today, Glenda? That might explain the memory loss. Well, let's see here. At one point, that my aunt was asking me if I was going to take Sir Grace his lunch. And I said, no, I'm not getting on the road. If that tells you how many mimosas I had, no, I ate and I did good. I brought mimosas to a party. And what was funny was I made a comment and I said, well, if I get pulled over and it's just one of the local cops, I work out with them and I'll just talk about exercising with them. And I was just teasing. I do not drink and drive, and don't you drink and drive either. So no, I stayed and ate. So I stayed for a few hours. Let's see here, but they were good mimosas. So I am just saying. And then she's rocking her elf shirt. Yeah. And then Scotty laughing. Yeah, I may have had some mimosas today. I had some Prosecco in the closet, and it was from a party from last year. I don't hardly have anything, to be honest with you. And so I said, I'm going to make scones, which is an English recipe, and I bought some clotted cream, which I couldn't believe. I hadn't seen clotted cream in about 20 years. And then I said, I'm going to take mimosas. And so we cracked that bottle open, and yeah, it was good. It's a nice holiday treat for me. I don't typically drink them, but I went to our local grocery store and was telling this lady, she was looking at how much orange juice I was buying, and I said, yeah, I'm making mimosas. And she goes, what time? And so I told her, and I said, come on over, but yeah, it was pretty funny. Let's see here. Oh, Lisa's here. Hey, beautiful too. Back at ya. I hope you're doing good. Well, let me tell you, this party was a lot of fun. It is our annual sock party, is what we like to call it. And you dress up as, like you're in your Christmas PJs, or you wear your ugly sweaters. And I just so happened to get one from a local thrift store about a year ago, and I've held on to it. I'm like, I need an ugly sweater because I don't have one. And I found it about a year ago. And so I wore that today, and we got together, and our theme was the Elf, the movie. And I saw Santa. And we did all things games wise related to the movie. And Aunt Lynn brought this party game where you blow up this cone and you strap it to the top of your head, and then you have rings, and you try to get one on there on the ring, and you have to sit real still. And my daughter-in-law actually did it. She got one on my head, which is hysterical. And then my beautiful grandbaby, she wanted to do it too. So I got down and she just set them on Gigi's head, which was absolutely so much fun. So I really enjoyed that game. And then she had a box of socks, and so you had to punch the box and pick out your socks. And I'll show you mine. I got the elf socks. See, they're cute, and they have little stripes down on them. And then Aunt Lynn, you're going to have to tell me the names of some of these characters, but I've got ones that say, bye, buddy. So I'm not sure. I can't remember who that character is from Elf, but I got those socks. And then I got the Nutcracker. Let's put my hand down in here. And it says, son of a Nutcracker on the side. And I cannot wait to rock these socks. What a really cool, fun gift for everybody. I mean, that was just amazing. And we had a blast. Everybody made up, they took a stocking and they filled it with all kinds of wonderful things. And then we did an exchange, and you had to put a pair of socks in there. So I put a pair of some Santa socks in mine, and some slippers that I got from IKEA. And usually it's about $10, to spend. And I love the one that I got. I got one from Aunt Lynn, and she put in a coffee cup with some hot cocoa in there and a really pretty ornament. There were some really cute socks in there and all kinds of goodies. There's a travel hand lotion in there, and also some, I think it was body wash, or was it shampoo? But anyhow, I'm really excited and to pull that open again and take a look. But it's a lot of fun. And if you need something to do at the holiday season with all the ladies in the family, or just maybe you want to do like a big family fun party, that is definitely one to do. And it's our annual tradition. We've been doing this for many, many years. And we have a couple of them in our family. So that's one of ours that we really enjoy. So I saw a couple of people popping in. So let me just see real quick so I can say hi to everybody, make sure I don't miss anybody. Joe is here. Hey, Joe, I'm so glad you're here. And then, scones jam. It's clotted, not clotty, but that's okay. It's clotted cream. It's sort of like butter, but it's in a jar. And like I told my mother, do not flip the jar around and look at the nutritional value, because it'll blow your mind away. And what does my mother do? She flips it around. Oh my gosh, it's high in fat and calories. And I'm like, told you not to look at that. This is Christmas. But it is so good. And you don't need a whole lot on there, but it's super good. So I made my scones from scratch. Oh, my husband is here. Hello, YouTube family. I thought you were taking care of the chickens. Are you listening? Are my girls listening in? I'll talk to my girls. Let's see here. Oh, and Aunt Lynn says, hi, Sir Grace. Oh, it's the Vineyard Chicks. I'm not sure which one it is, but hi, Miss Glenda. We'll let you run while finishing dinner. Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, my goodness. I've missed quite a few comments. Oh, she said it was body wash. Okay. Oh, Janae is here. Hello. I hope you're having a great night. Thank you for coming in. And then Troy Sutton is here. Hey, there, y'all, wonderful folks. I am so glad you're here, Troy. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. And then everybody else is saying hi to everybody. I'm so glad you're all saying hi to one another. Oh, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. I am glad you're here. Well, we have had one busy week. And I am super excited to announce that we finally got our kitchen counters. Okay, just a little bit excited. This kitchen renovation has been something I would absolutely do again. A lot of people have asked if I would do this again. And the answer is yes, in a heartbeat. In fact, why didn't I start it earlier? I don't know. Maybe the timing was right, so I'd get it right. Who knows? But anyhow, so all of the cabinets were from IKEA, thanks to Jesse and Lisa for the loving encouragement that we got. The original kitchen felt like a dungeon, not going to lie. I mean, there's nothing wrong with dungeons if that's what you're into, but that's not my jam. It was really dark. The colors were horrible. There was no cabinet space. I've always had a little bit bigger of a kitchen, except for one of them, which was the first one in Japan. I had a teeny tiny kitchen that was the smallest I've ever had. But I've always been able to put dishes away and things away and not have stuff spread all over the countertops. And when we bought this property, I knew one day I would have to renovate the kitchen. And quite frankly, if you're looking for a budget-friendly way of doing things, definitely check out IKEA. And if that's something that you're interested, I mean, it's something to really consider. It is a lot of DIYing. So you have to build every cabinet, every, drawer. You have to build it all, but it's really easy. So that has been done for a while. And then I put in LED lights all over the place. They're, just cheap ones. That came at a recommendation from Jesse and Lisa, so I could see into things, and what a great idea. And then finally, the counters came yesterday. And let me tell you, when they were installing them, Sir Grace, you can tell, back me up on this one. I kept doing the little happy dance behind the guys' backs. And it was like I actually picked colors that work. I couldn't believe it. I thought, it's just one of those things I was questioning myself. Did I get the right colors? Did I not get the right colors? It really so far has made it seem like it's actually a bigger kitchen when you walk in there. And I have not added on to the kitchen, like square footage wise. It's the same kitchen. But what we did was we went up, and our cabinets had, I think it was maybe an 18-inch down from the ceiling. And it was just dead space. So when I went into IKEA, they were like, you could put in 40-inch cabinets at the top. It'll work. And lo and behold, we got them up, and there's literally like that much space left, just enough to put crown molding up. So that will go off and finish that up, but we'll get to that at some point. But the counters are in, and I saw that Sir Grace, he had to go buy a specific plug for the garbage disposal, because the garbage disposal I bought to replace the other one, which was going out, it was dying. was not in the box. So I had to make a run to Home Depot to go get it. And so, yeah, I am super excited. And we're going to have a sink, faucet put in, and the dishwasher going again. Let me tell you how much I've missed that dishwasher. I'm just saying, there's just some things in life that you miss. And so when we have something happening this week, and I'm going to tell you about that in a second. So probably next weekend, we will be starting on the tiling of the kitchen. I have it picked out. It's very unique and different, but it will kind of give a little bit of a marble look. It's really pretty. So very, very bright, very pretty looking kitchen. Oh, Miss Ann is here. Hey, Miss Ann, I am so glad you're here. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. So anyhow, that has been a long project, and I'm already thinking about the next IKEA project for the house. Sir Grace, turn the volume down. No, just teasing. It'll take us some time to recoup off this kitchen, but we will be doing something else to the house. It just makes sense for us. And finally getting a home that feels like it's ours, and it's just one step at a time, and nothing ever goes fast, but I am really excited. This kitchen was designed with little ones in mind because I do have grandchildren, and yes, plural. So I'm thinking of my babies as they come over to their grandparents' house, and I will be building at some point a plate rack where at the top I'm going to put cutting boards, and then at the bottom I'm going to put children's books, so that way my babies, when they come over, if they want to sit and read a book, I'll have some books out for them and they can just sit and relax. And there's a little refrigerator that will have their waters in, and they can get a drink of water and all that good stuff, and snacks are at their level too. So I am really excited about that. But it has been a long trip, or long, process. Let's see here. I saw something that caught my eye. What? Grandchildren? Yes, we have more than one. So yeah, I'm a grandmother, and I love my babies with everything in me. And let me tell you, you love your children, but you love your grandchildren twice over, because it's like seeing your children all over again, and you get to love them twice, is what I like to say. And yeah, and they are my favorites. So just saying. Let's see here. We are currently, not well, mind you, replacing our water heater. Oh, I know. If it died, I am so sorry. We went through that ourselves. Our kids were in college, and right before Thanksgiving, like what, 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving, and before our children were coming home from college, our water heater died, and we had to get that done, like emergency type situation, before the holiday and before the kids all came home, because no hot water, So we had to do that a few years ago. And I'm so sorry, Miss Ann. I am so sorry. Oh, Lila's here. Hey, Lila, thank you for being here. I hope you are doing wonderful. Let's see here. Replacing a water heater. Yuck. Yeah, yuck. Woke up to water covering. Oh, Miss Ann. Okay. Hugs for Miss Ann. Big warm hugs. I am so sorry. Let's see here. Miss Glenda, Mama was wondering if you received the gift card for your win at Survival Seeds. It was sent in your email. I did. Thank you so very much. And I've already ordered from them. I did it right as we were doing the kitchen renovation, and I've not been able to try any of the meats out yet because I've not had a functioning kitchen. So we will be trying those out. I'm super excited. I got, let's see here. I got some bacon, and I got some hamburger and some steaks, and they all arrived safely, and they look beautiful. And let me tell you, they were still frozen solid hard. Like, they didn't even de-thaw. So I am so excited. I'm going to be cooking that up pretty soon. So thank you. And let's see here. Okay. She said, but it really could be much worse. Yes. Thank you, Lord. It wasn't worse. And I mean that, girl. I mean that. But I'm sending lots of love and lots of hugs to you, because when those things go, it's like, oh, really? I mean, ours, I want to say it tried to catch on fire is what we had. And it also had died. We also had during this renovation, the kitchen renovation, our GFCIs, actually, one of them arced and was trying to catch on fire, and I caught it just in time. And it was like, I'm so glad, not that it happened that way, but I'm glad it happened the way that it did, because I caught it and I was standing right there. But it was kind of shocking that the GFCI arced like that and was like sending off sparks, and I could see it. Yeah. And we had everything taken off. So we replaced all the GFCIs, and that was an unexpected expense that I was not looking forward to, but safety first in the house. Oh, Lila, I'm so sorry. You get some rest, and it's okay if you're not in the chat. We know you're here and we love you so much. And I hope you feel better, girl. And then Xander slid in and he's going, hi, 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 hi. This is what I imagine you're doing when you say that. Hi, 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 hi. Like you're high-fiving everybody. So let's see here. And then prayers for everyone. Yes, yes. Let's see here. I've already zapped myself, Glenda. You're not allowed to do that either. And no setting fire to your house either. Someone else already did that too. Yeah, I mean, we caught it in time, thankfully. And, it was one of those things that, in a way, I'm glad that it happened right in front of me. You know what I mean? I think that was the Lord, to be perfectly honest with you, because that could have done, like while we were asleep and the house caught on fire or whatnot. So I'm glad that we caught it and I was able to kill the electricity immediately and get that all replaced. So in a way, I'm glad. And yes, it's expensive and it is a pain, but we have a house and food and heat. This too shall pass. And as Miss Ann Dale says, and I think this every day now, Tuesday, you get to choose your attitude. And, every Tuesday I think about that. So this is where we choose our attitude to be positive and to be grateful for the things that have, thankful that nothing worse happened, that it's just a hot water heater. Water can be cleaned up and get a new one in. And I'm so glad you're safe and sound. And she said, yep, that's it. Choose your attitude, right? I mean, I think we should do that every day. And I'm working on that. But every Tuesday I wake up, every morning, no joke, it's time to choose my attitude. Now I need to do that every day. Because some days I wake up and I'm not a nice person. So I'm working on being better. But let's see here. The plus side too, it's happening all at once and not 3 months apart or something. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, that's absolutely the truth. Well, I'm going to choose my attitude and I'm going to share a little something exciting that's getting ready to happen this week. And I had just told Aunt Lynn just a couple of days ago. I've known about this for a little while. And I hope I don't step on anybody during their normal scheduled lives in general, not just Tuesday, but just in general. Sir Grace and I are flying to Washington, D.C. this week. Sorry. We are super, super excited to go. The first day that not the day that we fly in, but the second day afterwards, Sir Grace and I are going to go to see the memorials. Sir Grace, it was in the Air Force, and I've been to Washington, D.C. a few times, and he has never seen the Air Force Memorial, which is located next to the Pentagon. And I have seen it twice, and I've been to the 9/11 memorial at the Pentagon a couple of times. So I am planning on taking Sir Grace to both of the memorials. Sir Grace was prescribed this vision goggles, and I told him that the Air Force Memorial, it's got 3 like spires that go up, and I want him to see it, and it reminds you of the jet and to aim high. Go Air Force. Sorry, Air Force wife. So we are going to take him there to go see that, because he's an airman. And then, of course, the 9/11 memorial. Oh, back to the Air Force Memorial. Fun fact about that one. That memorial was not built during 9/11. It was built after 9/11. And the spires are in the flight path of the plane that hit the Pentagon. And just take a moment to let that soak in. How cool is it to kind of say, no, we're rising up from this, from the ashes to keep going. And they put a monument right in the flight path of it. And so anyhow, but I'm super excited to go. And then we are going to go on to Arlington National Cemetery. I've been there. I've only been to section 60. I was in a rush. I was going to a business meeting in DC and I'm like, I have an hour to run to Arlington. And so I ran to Arlington. Friends of friends are buried there. And so I went to go look for certain people to send back to a dear friend, so that way they could see where they're buried at. We're going to go see the changing of the guard and the unknown tomb. My son said the most decorated World War II veteran, veteran in general, is buried really close to the changing of the guard. He gave me the name so I can go find him. So I'm going to go look for him. But we are also going to be going to section 66. There is a guy that I've known, and Sir Grace is known, and he was an Air Force wounded warrior. And many years ago, he shared his journey with chondrosarcoma, which is a very rare form of cancer, and it's inside the bone. And he had told me, his journey, and they didn't take the cancer out. A lot of times with chondrosarcoma, it's encapsulated, so they don't take it out. They just monitor it through imaging. And his, unfortunately, had spread, and he lost his arm. And let me tell you, the man didn't sit in the mully grub, or that just means like boo-hoo. He lived his life. And he did shot put and discus with one arm, and he shot archery with his teeth. And he was an inspiration to me. And unfortunately, it had spread everywhere throughout his body. And in 2020, he passed away, and he is buried at Arlington. And the reason why this guy holds a special spot in my heart is because in 2020, during the shutdown, I went and saw my orthopedic doctor and was told, Glenda, we think you have chondrosarcoma, and we're going to be sending you on to an orthopedic oncologist. And so I decided to go ahead and get mine removed. And I have a big old scar. It was actually inside my bone. I have a plate and 6 screws. And I'm actually, every year I'm being followed to make sure that it doesn't come back, that it is stayed out. In fact, I have an appointment coming up next week, I think it is, to make sure that it's not grown. And I think this will be my 5th year, so my 5th one. So I'm hoping maybe this will be the year that they discharge me from seeing the orthopedic oncologist. But anyhow, I want to go pay my respects to this guy because I feel like he saved my life by sharing his journey. And Aunt Lynn will tell you, I took it real seriously. And I owe him a debt of gratitude. So I'm going to go and pay my respects to him, and just to say thank you. And he's from Sir Grace's hometown area. And I hope to meet his mother one day when we go up, and reach out to her just to say, let me tell you what your son did for me. So anyhow, so we're going to go see him at Arlington. That is a definite on the plans, has to be done. Can't leave DC without going and paying respects to him. But on a lighter note, I am super excited to be invited to the 2024 Heroes and History Makers Gala. It is for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, where I am an Elizabeth Dole Fellow, and I have been doing this for 10 years. I advocate for military and veteran caregivers, both at the local, state, and national level. We have helped to get legislation passed for the military and veteran caregivers. Senator Elizabeth Dole started this foundation in 2012 when she had gone to Walter Reed when Bob Dole was admitted. And she will tell you that she sat back and she watched all these caregivers not have the support or the resources that they needed to help take care of their wounded, ill, and injured. And she decided to commission the RAND Corporation to do a comprehensive study. And that study was released in 2014. And I was invited to the White House. Again, please do not hold your political comments aside because this is a nonpartisan issue. I was invited to the White House for the 2014 RAND study release. It was a Joining Forces event. And so I got to hear the statistics of how many military and veteran caregivers there are and what does that mean statistically on our lives. One of the things at the time that they said that there was 5.5 million military and veteran caregivers in every city and state across the nation. And they said about a third of them were the spouses. Just to kind of put that in perspective, most people think that caregivers are the spouses, and most are not. The divorce rate is high amongst this community. I am really excited. I haven't fully read everything just yet, but she went ahead and she commissioned the RAND Corporation again to do a 10-year update on this comprehensive study to see where we're at statistically. And unfortunately, there are 14.3 million. That went from 5.5 million to 14.3 million military and veteran caregivers. And they are saying, I think it was about 24% are married to their warrior. Again, making that point to the divorce rate is high. So when you see me, I'm not the typical caregiver in this community. I'm actually in the minority, being still married to Sir Grace. And I am the first and only wife for him. A lot of people think I'm like second or third wife. No, I am the OG. So anyhow, not only has she done this commissioned study, we've also been able to be part of the organization to help raise awareness about this caregiver community, to identify the caregivers. Isolation is a huge problem in the community. Also, suicide is another one. Not knowing where to turn to, not knowing who the subject matter experts are. And so we are raising awareness on that. And I have seen a change in the last 10 years. If you have never heard of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, I'm going to encourage you to Google hiddenheroes.org and check the website out. And if you know another military or veteran caregiver, please pass that information out, because we want people to know that they're not alone and there is help out there. I will say, on a personal note, Elizabeth Dole is the real deal. She is an extended aunt, is how I feel. She's family. I think the world of her. You can't say that a whole lot about senators these days and congressmen and whatnot, but when you meet someone like her, you realize her heart is really in the game, and she takes no money from the foundation. She started this thing and she takes $0. She just really has a passion for military and veteran caregivers. So they have a fundraiser that was started, I think this is their 7th year. If not, it's the 8th, but I think it's the 7th. And it is the gala. And Sir Grace and I have talked about going for a couple of years. And this is my 10 year. And I looked at Sir Grace and I said, I want to go to this. I have always wanted to go. And he said, why not? Let's go. Let's go to DC. Let's go to the gala. And so I am super excited. I unfortunately will not be able to film live from there, but I will be taking small clips. And the reason that I can't film live is because Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show will be there. And I think the Today Show crew is filming. So you might want to keep an eye on Wednesday morning for that. If you want to learn more about Hidden Heroes and the foundation. Savannah Guthrie is a coalition partner and an amazing woman. I've gotten to meet her and talk to her before. I used to live in Arizona. In fact, I lived in Tucson. So we got into a nice conversation about how much we love the Tucson area. That's her hometown. And so very nice lady. And then our spokesman who will also be there is Tom Hanks. And yes, I'm dropping some big names. I'm really excited to see Tom again. He is a champion for our caregivers. And he's also our spokesman. So I am really excited to go, but I'm more excited to see Senator Dole. I have just such a debt of gratitude to this woman. And yeah, so I can't wait to give her a big old hug and say hi. So that's what we're doing this coming week. So there'll be some shorts coming out, and I'm really excited for it. It's a beautiful gala. There is going to be an award given out, and I've forgotten the title of the name of the award, but it has already been announced. So I'm not giving out secrets or anything. It's already announced who is receiving the award, and I cannot say this correctly because he has passed away, but posthumously, I can't say it. Anyhow, it's going to Bob Hope, and his daughter will be accepting the award on her father's behalf because if you've ever known Bob Hope, he went out with the USO and he really cared about our active duty and put on shows for many years. So I'm really excited that award has been announced, and yeah, all the information's out on the website. So I'm not giving any like secrets or anything away. But yes, I am super excited. And then the next day, we're going to actually get to go to the headquarters of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, which I have never done. Can you believe it? 10 years and I've never been to the headquarters. So I'm really excited to go there and meet with the staff. There's a lot of staff that are new, that I have yet to meet. So I am looking forward to all of that. But yeah, that's going to be what's going on this week. So if I overstep anybody on YouTube, because I do a quick live or pop in or something, please forgive me. I'm also sharing for family to see this experience, which is going to be wonderful. You know, I have seen this foundation like at, where caregivers felt lost. In fact, when I became a Dole Fellow, there was absolutely no help for our community, period, end of story. In fact, long before I ever was a Dole Fellow, when Sir Grace he came back as a wounded warrior the first time, I reached out to the VA. He was still on active duty, but honestly, the active duty didn't know how to help with anything. There was just no resources within the Air Force at that point. There was no caregiver program. That has all since changed, but at the time there was nothing. And I went to the VA because Sir Grace had some medical done there. And I just said, is there any help? Like, I don't know the first thing on what to do. I have like nothing, I'm just dealing with this and I'm raising children within this home and I don't know how to explain it to my children. Is there like a support group or something? And I love the group that I'm going to say, please know that I have deepest gratitude. But what I was told was I could join with the Vietnam era veterans, and if I wanted, and I love Vietnam, please know, you have my heart. You have my heart. But that's what I was told. There was no resources. I could join in with the Vietnam if I wanted. And I went, but that's not our generation. And I'm raising little ones in this home. And I really am looking for the parent resources. Like, how do you do this? And I didn't give up. I went to Sir Grace's commander and I said, how do I tell my children about their dad? Because he's not the same. He is not the same. And she gave me the best advice that started this for me. And she said, sit your children down and tell them, you know, sometimes when we get sick with the flu or with pneumonia or we have an asthma attack, because we had asthma in the family, we go to the doctor and we get help. And sometimes we go to the doctor and we go home. You know, you just go get some treatment and you go home. And sometimes we have to go to the doctor and they put us in the hospital so we can get big treatment. And she said, tell your children that it's the same thing for their dad. Sometimes daddy's going to go into the doctor's office and he's going to get treatment in the office and he's going to get to go home. And sometimes he's going to stay in the hospital. And that's exactly what I needed. And then I asked about, what about the active duty spouses? Is there a group? Is there anything? I went to the chapel and I probably drove them all crazy. I admit it. But I said, we need something. And I had a lot of spouses come into me in private going, Glenda, I think my husband has PTSD. Glenda, I think there's something wrong with the way he's thinking. He's not processing right, suspecting a brain injury, by the way. And they were asking for advice from me, and I didn't have the resources. And the day that we left his military installation, his last active duty military installation, to go on to retirement because he had been medically retired out, I remember crying because there was no resources for our active duty spouses whatsoever. No caregiver support, no nothing. And I had thought about that. And then I was introduced to possibly becoming an Elizabeth Dole Fellow. I went on a retreat with Wounded Warrior Project for the caregivers. And this lady had said, listen, let me tell you about Senator Dole and what she's up to. And I think you should apply to become a fellow. So I went ahead and I applied for a fellowship with the foundation. And it was with the Elizabeth Dole Foundation that I found my voice. And I used to be told to shut up and don't talk during Sir Grace's doctor's appointments. I was always told it, but he never would tell the doctors what was actually going on. He just sat there because he couldn't process. And I was always told to shut up. And that's something you don't ever tell me because I got a big mouth. If you didn't know that about me, now you know. But Senator Dole really had told me, she said, you have to advocate for your husband. And sometimes you have to push back the barriers. And because of the foundation working with the VA, now caregivers are being recognized in the VA system. And as a part of an important team. Now, I let Sir Grace go into his appointments. It is his doctor's appointment. And I let him say whatever he wants to say because it's his body, right? But then I come in up underneath and go, okay, now he's talked. Now let me fill in the blank with where we're missing. And now I'm being treated with respect because it's not about me. I want the top-notch care for him because I need him to live the best life he can. It's, you know, and what's funny to me now is Sir Grace will go with me to my doctor's appointment. He goes, oh yeah, you forgot. And I'm like, you learned. He'll get after me and he'll tell my doctors, she forgot this. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I forgot this. So, but I want to encourage other caregivers, if you go into these appointments with your loved one and you're ever told, shut up, don't talk. And I mean, when I say it like that, it's what I was told many times over, both with the active duty and with Veterans Affairs. Don't shut up, speak up. speak up, because it's important for our veterans to get top-notch care from the VA. It doesn't matter what era. I've encouraged many Vietnam era veterans, caregivers, and spouses, hey, speak up, speak up. And they've come back and go, yeah, I did it. I did it. I'm like, yeah, high five. So, because I mean, at the end of the day, our veterans are our heroes, and we owe them a debt of gratitude, and top-notch care is part of that. So anyhow, I have seen Senator Dole work with the VA administration. She has them very close, like on speed dial. But they also come in, and the VA secretary will be at our event as well. So I look forward to seeing him. But yeah, so this is a really big event for the foundation, and for Elizabeth Dole Foundation, the caregivers. It's huge. So I'm super excited to be part of this. We have to be dressy. So I'm not used to being totally dressy. I have to tell y'all, I went to the Goodwill bins. And if you've ever been to the Goodwill bins, you know that it's sold to you by the pound. And I bought a dress for about $1.79, an evening gown dress that I was able to wash, and because it was washer safe. And I'm actually wearing my $1.79 dress to this gala, which is so fun. And my mom loaned me a shawl and a purse, and I have shoes from another thrift store that I paid about $4 for. So yeah, I'm going on the cheap, let me just say. But I can't wait to tell people I'm getting it from the Goodwill or thrift store, whatnot. But anyhow, we're excited. So I'll be showing some clips and maybe trying to go live from some of the places that we're going, maybe get a little bit of the memorials. I know that those are really special. I'm not sure if I can film. I need to make sure before I do it, because I don't want to get in trouble, because, I don't want to break the law. But yeah. So anyhow, that's the exciting news. I'm sorry I've been rambling on and I've been missing the chat. So let me go back and just make sure. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much. I'll tell you, I have to say, I am the one that's the most blessed, because I get to live with an American hero, and I get to wake up every day next to him. And I'm forever grateful. I know what the meaning of service and sacrifice to this country really is about. And I never took it lightly. Reveille and retreat on a military installation was always the sound of freedom for me. And being an Air Force wife, listening to the sounds of the A-10s, F-16s, the bombers, they'd rattle the windows, and it always got to my heart. And I love the sound of freedom. And let's see here. Not really, or no, really? Yeah, really. I think that's whenever I was telling you about how I was told to be quiet when that popped up. That, yeah, I've been told, shut up, don't talk. Got to support those vets. Absolutely. And thank you for your service too, Miss Carlene. Let's see here. My grandmother was told by a doctor for my grandfather with I cannot speak tonight. Okay, I'm not going to spell it because I'm going to mess up. My grandmother grabbed her purse, threw it out, and said, "You do not talk to me like that. We'll be seeing another doctor now." High five, Grandma. High five, Grandma. You have to be willing to speak up. And sometimes, I think also just in general, not just being a caregiver, not being a wounded warrior, I think just life in general, sometimes it's good to have a family member go with you, just in general, to go to a doctor's office. Sometimes if you feel like your doctor's not hearing you, take somebody with you that's witnessing the symptoms, and let them speak up and let them give a different perspective. Sometimes that helps doctors too, and maybe you're missing something, or maybe you're not communicating something effectively. It's okay to take somebody with you. I mean, I have done it for myself. And I've also gone with different family members too, to help advocate. And just, I think it's important. And the person I learned that from was my own grandmother. She was a caregiver for her sister. And I remember my grandmother going into nursing homes and walking up and down. And if she didn't like what the doctor said, she's like, oh no, you didn't. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And you didn't get past my grandmother. You didn't pull wool over her eyes. I'm just saying, like she was a go get 'em. And I still have my grandmother alive. I'm not talking like she's gone, but she's no longer advocating for her sister because her sister graduated on to heaven after, I believe, 18 years of being in a nursing home. But I am grateful that I went with her. I was a teenager and to a young adult while I was witnessing her advocating for her sister. And I took those lessons and applied them to Sir Grace. And yeah, it's okay to have a family member go with you. Let's see here. Goodwill has really cool, fun clothes sometimes. I'm just saying, I'm rocking my my sweater. It's not from Goodwill. It's from a local mom and pop thrift store, but thrift store find. You know, I didn't spend a lot of money to have a cool, ugly sweater. But yeah, I have to say Goodwill has some really good fun clothes. I have found so many cute things. In fact, most of my wardrobe comes from a thrift store. And listen, I'm all about secondhand. I ain't above secondhand, and I ain't above going to the Goodwill bins, putting on my gloves and going for it. Because at $1.79 a pound for my area, yeah, I will keep doing it. And oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope so. I've lost a little bit of weight. I was going to wear a dress that I wore to my son's wedding, the mother of the groom, because it's blue and it's sparkly, like the whole thing. I mean, it shimmers. But I've lost weight and it was just going to hang on me. And I had it, it comes with a tie, and I had it tied as I could, and it didn't. This $1.79 dress from the Goodwill bins fits me like a glove. So I'm really excited. Yes, meso is a lung cancer. Yes, I just can't say it. I know exactly what it is, and I can hear it in my head. It just doesn't come out of this very well. And then Steve and I go to the same doctor. He sees us together. Good thing, because Steve is hard of hearing. Oh, that's awesome. Sir Grace and I have the same primary care doctor. He outside of the VA for him, because he does have a VA primary, and then he has a private. The private is the same one that I go to. So if the VA doesn't cover some things, or we just don't want to use the VA for certain services, then he goes to this other doctor for the help at the local level, you know, more like if he's sick or whatnot. But sometimes VA doesn't cover certain things. And that's where coming out of the VA and finding really good providers to fill in that gap, so important. Yeah, I've talked about Sir Grace having a brain injury, and I will just say that the VA years ago, I don't know where they're at today, but years ago, they didn't cover for a SPECT MRI. And that is a type of MRI that looks at the blood flow of the brain. And I'm not going to go into all the details on it, on why we had done it and what the results were. But what I will say is that I went ahead and I took him outside of the VA and went primary, you know, private insurance, and they got it approved. And so we were able to get our questions answered about his brain injury through the SPECT MRI by looking at the blood flow in the brain. And I'm just grateful his private insurance covered that, because I don't know. I always wanted to know what was going on. And I knew that we didn't have the full answers. And yeah, I mean, VA just doesn't cover it. Or at least years ago. I'm going to say years ago. I don't know where they're at today. But it's good to have both. If you're a veteran, have a private and a VA, have both. Because, you know, VA also covers things that private doesn't cover. A lot of things, a lot of adaptive equipment, the VA will cover if it's service connected, you know, especially if it's service connected. Of course, they cover things in general, but some of those service connected things they cover, and at 100%. So good to use both, right? It is what it is. But anyhow, so that's kind of what we're kind of up to. And I'm really excited. And of course, when we get back, then we're back at the kitchen renovations again. And I'll be starting to tile. My handyman is amazing. And Sir Grace had a talk with him about, coming and helping us out with the tiling. He's done it before. He showed me some pictures and I'm like, yeah, you're hired for that too. I'll just keep hiring you. It's like, I don't know how to do this, and it's okay to get somebody to come in and teach you. I have tiled before, and he helped me remove the tile when we were doing the kitchen. And he goes, I think you know how to tile because you got it on here really good. And I thought, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because we had to like literally tear the whole thing out. But I'm going to let him teach me some of those special cuts and how to get them on right and how to measure things out right. Because I want to do a good job, and it's okay to hire when you don't know. But I'm going to do most of the work with it because I could handle it. But there are some things that I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I do for this? Maybe I need a Joe Fix It for you. No, I'm just teasing. I've got a handyman, so he's amazing. And I'm super blessed to have him in our life. So anyhow, but yeah, we're doing all that, and we're getting ready for Christmas, and I hope everybody is as well and enjoying the holiday season. Let's see here. Hire someone that's willing to take the time to teach you as he's doing it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm the first to say I'm a woodworker. I love building things. I wanted a brand new desk for my office, and actually, it's where the computer's sitting out right now. And I just didn't have the money. We don't roll in money. I wish we did. I mean, anybody knows where I can find a money tree, hit me up and let me know, right? But I found some plans for one and got a design. And actually, this desk is what I built. And I've built our headboard, footboard, and side rails for our bed. And I've built all kinds of things. I mean, benches, and Aunt Lynn will tell you, she'll call me out if I'm lying to y'all, but no, I actually built a bench for her too. Sir Grace and I did that bench out of an old headboard and footboard. So woodworking, I understand. Some of these other things with home renovations, I want to learn. My grandfather built houses, and he built a church, and he pastored the church, oh, by the way, but he built, he could build anything. He was so talented. And I wish I had paid more attention to him too, because I could use those right now, just saying, some of those skills, but he's already in heaven. So, it's okay, I think, to hire somebody. And if you trust them and just say, hey, I'd like to learn this. And then you pick up a new skill, right? So, yeah. Well, anyhow, you guys, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to each and every single one of you guys. I appreciate you more than you realize. And I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I hope you have something exciting to look forward to like we do. And as always, be kind to somebody. You just don't know what they're going through. And I mean it, especially during this holiday season. If you can be a blessing to somebody, I encourage you to do it. You don't know whose life you can brighten. So anyhow, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. God bless each of you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you off and on through the week, because I'm going to go live just randomly. So anyhow, y'all have a great evening. We'll see y'all next week for sure. We'll see you through the week too. Bye.